saint? Put up your hand if you are a sinner. Okay, put up your hand if you think these questions are dumb and you don't know what I'm talking about. All right, fair enough. Don't hate. Different one. Real or plastic? Put up your hand if you're real. Put up your hand if you're plastic. Okay. The reason I ask, there's an obvious shift that's happened in our culture. A shift away from thinking in terms of right and wrong towards thinking in terms of real and unreal. And so we don't so much measure things anymore using right and wrong. We measure things against real or unreal. The dichotomy of right versus wrong just doesn't resonate with us anymore. It doesn't hold meaning for us. Meaning is found in real versus unreal. And you need only watch Jerry Springer, which I do for research purposes only. But you need only watch Springer to realize that right and wrong don't matter. The whole show is about right and wrong don't matter. You need only watch a movie like The Matrix, or I watched Inception a couple of nights ago. Anyone see Inception? It may have been a dream and a dream and a dream and a dream. But you need only watch those movies to realize that Hollywood is on to this shift. And you need only, pay attention to the music industry machine, Lily Allen, to realize that they've picked up on this shift that has happened. The chorus of her song, I got some words here for you. Chorus of the Lily Allen song. I don't know what's right and what's real no more. I think there's an intentional mixing of dichotomies there. I don't know what's right and what's real anymore. Right and wrong, real versus unreal. And she says, I'll take off my clothes and it will be shameless. Is it right to take off your clothes to achieve fame? Is it right or wrong? Who cares? It doesn't matter. I want lots of clothes and truckloads of diamonds. I've heard people die while trying to find them. And yet she still wants them. Is it right to want diamonds when people are dying to acquire them for you? Who cares? It doesn't matter. Because what matters is real and unreal. And even within that dichotomy of real and unreal, those things that are unreal are most compelling. But she says, life's about film stars and less about mothers. There's nothing more real than mother. There's nothing more plastic than film stars. There's nothing more plastic or unreal than plastic breasts. But she claims she's packing plastic, and that's what makes her life so effing fantastic. This fantastic life of plastic breasts and diamonds and film stars and fame and consumption, it's unreal, but it's fantastic. But the truth comes out in the chorus. What does she say here? At the end of the chorus she says, and when do you think it will all become clear? Because I'm being taken over by what? The fear. I'm being taken over by the fear. Let me give you 30 seconds of blah, blah, blah. There's a French philosopher by the name of Jean Baudrillard, and one of Baudrillard's shticks is measuring the effect on human development when you've been raised in front of a screen. And so you, as a generation, have been raised in front of a screen more than any other human beings in the history of the world. You're growing up in front of TVs and computers and laptops and iPhones and texting on your phones and iPods and whiteboards in your classrooms and screens at the Swell or movie theater and so on and so forth. More than any generation in the history of humanity, and increasingly more from year to year. Now, Baudrillard isn't against technology, he's not afraid of technology, but warns that it has caused a shift in our development. There have been shifts in our development of self, in our development of identity. There have been shifts in our experiences of love and intimacy. It's caused shifts in significant shifts in our notion of work and in our patterns of consumption. And one of the shifts that we're focusing on tonight is this shift towards that which is unreal, or in Baudrillard's language, a shift towards a focus on the hyperreal. And what frightens me is what Baudrillard is pointing to and what Lily Allen is pointing to, that this focus on the hyperreal, living out life on the landscape of the hyperreal, breeds fear. I'm being taken over by the fear because it's so close to that edge of nothingness. It dances us closer and closer to that edge of non-existence. It breeds fear and it takes us over. Life on that landscape brings that nagging question, am I real? Do I really exist? Am I noticeable? Does anybody see me? It's been a very difficult year in Sarnia. There were 2 back-to-back teen suicides at a local high school in September, followed by a series of suicide attempts by teens and a lack of teens landing in the psych ward for having suicidal thoughts. And listening to these teens talk, I'm struck by the phrase, I feel invisible. Nobody notices me. I don't know if I'm real. I hear in that I'm being taken over by what? The fear. But here's the good news. The gospel is always good news in the face of our human condition. The gospel always has something to say about our human reality. And tonight, the gospel is about incarnation. God coming to earth in Jesus to be human and to be human among us is the greatest affirmation that our humanness is real and that it matters. The incarnation tells you that your humanity is what's real and that that's the stuff that matters. Your body is real and it matters. Your relationships are real and they matter. Your humanness, your brokenness is real and it matters. And I know that many of you have tasted realness before. Even at events like November Rally or Youth Forum or Walk talk. Those events where the hyper-real is just swept to the side, and you're left with these communal experiences of realness. I know you have them because I hear you say it every single year. Oh my God, the people here are so real. I feel like I can be myself. Invitation for you in your ride home, in your conversation in the car. Where have you experienced realness? Where has that happened